Despite this British heatwave, I've been delving deep into the old creative juices, looking for more things to try with Krea-2 Turbo in ComfyUI, such as using composite images and character creation tools. Stick around to learn more. Hello, and welcome to more nerdy rodent geekery. Just in case you're not familiar with the channel, I like to use the rodent method for workflows. With things neatly in colourful named groups, this makes them both easier to understand and to update. If you're using this tutorial to create or update your own workflows from the one I'm sharing in this video, don't forget you can pause to take screenshots or rewatch bits at any time. Also, if you find these videos helpful, prefer tutorials from actual humans, or perhaps you just like all this workflow stuff done for you already, then you can support the channel via the Patreon link in the video description. It's your support which lets me make even more workflows for you and to share these free tutorials with everyone. That freedom to choose is of course yours, and a huge thank you to all supporters because you make this possible. Oh, and if you haven't seen last week's Krea-2 Workflow Power-Up video, then you may like to give that a watch now to catch up, as in this video I'm going to be focusing on the image and latent composite changes as well as the character creator. Some quick things to start with then, and that's apply Krea-2 NegPip node, this one here, which basically allows you to use negative prompts using that old sort of automatic 1111 style in your positive prompt. I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. We can bypass that for now. And then also on the Krea-2T enhancer front, there's an advanced node if you'd like to use that, which is very much like the old one, but it now has a text scale value as well. I started off by testing various in-comfy ways for playing with images, such as this layer forge node, but honestly, in the end, just using a regular image editor, such as the new image manipulation program, was still a far less painful way to create that type of layered composite image, whilst also avoiding custom node issues. Sticking with the native comfy nodes that will composite or mix images together still gave me some really interesting results though, and I'll show you a bunch of things that you can try. The two nodes I went with are this one here, the Porter Duff image composite, along with the plain old latent blend. The initial results I got from these were pleasantly surprising, if mostly due to their strangeness. Okay, let's start from the beginning. A plain old text-to-image generation to begin, and I'm using this prompt here. It's very similar to the one from last week and features 6 different rodent characters, a police rodent, doctor, artist, fire rodent, engineer, and a compski, all with a photographic art style. Pause now if you want to read the whole thing. This gives us our baseline image, and that way we can see how much stuff changes once we start messing around with all the bells and whistles. It's following the prompt pretty well. We've got the 6 characters and the style is photographic, which is just what we prompted for. Okay, time to start changing stuff. As mentioned, NegPip is a way to add negative prompting to your positive prompt using ye olde method of brackets and a negative number. So as we've got that node enabled, in the positive prompt we can start doing things like I've got there at the end, traffic lights in brackets with a colon and -1, so that's having fewer traffic lights, one would hope. Taking a look at the result, and yes, it seems like all of our hopes have come true because there are indeed fewer traffic lights in there than in the original image. Okay, that's one thing. Let's have a look at another way of potentially doing negative prompts. This is one node you might not have played with from the ComfyUI Conditioning Rebalance custom node pack, or Conditioning Krea-2 Rebalance as it says there in the label, and that's the Rebalance Guider. It takes both the positive and negative prompt conditioning along with a guidance strength value with just a single conditioning output. The negative prompt in this case is very simple, dark t-shirt, which results in a light blue t-shirt turning up in place of the original grey one. Both this version and NegPip may not give you perfect negative prompting, but at least they do change the results a bit. You'll also notice here I've changed the latent going into the standard VAE decode to be the rebalanced one, because that's a cool thing you can do with get and set nodes there, latent rebalance or latent standard if you want the one from the standard K sampler. That's part of the reason why I like these get and set nodes so much. Although that rodent text looks absolutely fine to me, perhaps it could be even more clean if we use that advanced node. Okay, let's enable it then and see the difference. Kind of, a little bit. The t-shirt's changed colour even more this time. Is the rodent text any clearer? Not particularly, but what I have found is that with higher values, the results do tend towards generating more text, though not necessarily better, more coherent text. Still, either way, it's another tool in the toolbox. Right, let's get into the world of weird by using compositing and blending to mix and match both styles and concepts. For this, I'm using Qwen Image Edit Plus and compositing image 1 together with another image. The first image I'm using is a pencil sketch style of a rodent, with the second image being this curious, more cartoony bit of surrealism. This way, as you can see in the preview there, we can get away with sending a single image in instead of two. With the Porter Duff image composite there in the mode, you've also got a few different options if you want to try playing with those. And in the Create Solid Mask, there's a value which will let you change the amount of the composite. To make things even easier, I'm using a switch here, so the image composite takes precedent over image 1 if you are loading both of those images. As far as the result goes, that's nice and weird. Absolutely love weird things. So I've got a rodent fireman there with wings and a sort of strange tree trunk instead of legs, interesting flying things in the sky, and the collection of rodents on the right there. Okay, let's try some more things. This time then, I've changed the value in the Create Solid Mask node to 0.64, which, as you can see in the preview there, has let the drawing come through a little bit more over the top of that cartoony image. Thankfully, the result is still particularly strange. We've got that winged rodent there in the background and all the sort of yin-yang symbols. The fire rodent is red and he's almost got the tree-like thing going on, but the main thing is it's still very strange indeed. You can, of course, use the other encoder nodes too, such as the Krea-2 text encoder, which we saw last week. This time the generation is still nicely surreal, but a different flavor. Use whichever one you prefer, and with prompts that match, or like I'm doing, prompts which don't match your images at all. If you want to dial the strangeness up or down, then combining that Krea-2 text encoder with something like the conditioning average node helps. Here I've changed the strength to 0.66. Essentially now this is a blend of two images and a blend of two prompts. If you like creating the bizarre from a single prompt here, all you need to do is change a few numerical settings or those input images, and you have a world of strange at your fingertips. If that isn't enough of a mix for you, this time I'm using the Krea-2 Image Edit Rebalance node along with the image composite as the latent for a little bit of image to image as well as the encoding. For image 1, I have this rodent at a medieval fair with a space scene as the second image and the mask value at 0.5 to create a 50-50 mix. In the K sampler, the denoise value is set down to 0.7 to nicely use that composite as the VAE encoded latent image. Et voila, the ancient and the modern are combined, and I've got lots of images so far, but I still haven't changed the prompt. Another option is to do the blending at the latent level, the downside here being that both images do need to be the exact same size. Like with the Porter Duff image composite node, there is a blend factor set here to 0.25. We can take a look at that group again to see this time the Comfy Latent Blend node is used to blend image 1 and image 2 into a latent for the K sampler. Using the keep proportion value of stretch in the resize image is an easy way to ensure image sizes match, like with this first image here of 1440 by 768, which is scaled to 1280 by 720. That's going in along with image number 2 here, which is 2016 by 1136. There's a few aliens in there. Once again, of course, it's scaled to 1280 by 720 using the stretch option. To make sure we do have some impact from that latent blend, the denoise in the K-sampler is down at 0.65. And yes, even though I still haven't changed the main prompt at all yet, we are getting a very different image with those aliens and the figure in the middle. Love it. Okay, we're ramping up the strangeness a bit. Of course, you can do plain old image to image as well, but I don't think that's quite as hot. This time then I'm blending a spiral image with this other somewhat random image of a person and a bit of a rainbow. Denoise value down at 0.6, with the result having a distinctly weird spiral sort of vibe going on. Every little change will give you a slightly different image, which is excellent, and for this example I'm creating a composite image along with loading a second image and getting Krea-2 text encoder to look at both of those, along with using the composite image as a latent. For image 1 I have this rather weird looking city, and the composite I'm creating with that is I'm merging it in with that strange surreal cartoon looking thing again, with image 2 being a picture of this person trying to have a lovely meal. So hopefully that should all produce something totally normal. In the K-sampler, the denoise value is 0.55 to make sure once again that latent does have some influence over the result, giving us the perfectly normal image as expected. Okay, enough of mixing things up because now it's time to look at something called Identity Forge. This is quite a fun node pack and it gives you endless coherent characters that you can select from drop-downs. For ease in my workflow, I've called the group AI Prompt ID Forge purely so that the toggle goes into that AI prompting group bypasser, but it doesn't actually use AI. There are loads of options and I've just done a very basic setup here with a few of the nodes to create a random character each time. I've also added a group to concatenate the main prompt with this character prompt, and that allows you to change anything you like about the character, such as the image style, but for now that option is off. You can see the prompt it's created there in the preview as text node. This is the image it creates, and we can of course just run that through and make another random character, and another, and one more for good luck. You can be a bit more picky if you want, so this time in the Identity Forge archetype, I've selected the archetype of Arcane Wizard. Shockingly enough, it creates a wizard. There are loads of other presets too, so if you want a cleric, a bard, or a paladin image for use in your dungeon escapades, this could be one way to keep rolling images. If you want to be a bit more specific than any of the set random elements, then blending your two prompts together comes in handy. Now I've got an archetypical werewolf hunter. The enable concat ID is set to yes. And then up here in the AI prompt switch group, you can see we've got the ID prompt and the user prompt going into the concatenate text node, which will give us the final prompt. The bit I'm adding on to the end of that ID prompt is photorealistic style taken with a top quality camera in an ancient magical windowless underground dungeon room hewn from the very rocks themselves and lit only by a flaming torch on the wall. Putting both of those together gives us this dude, and my character is ready to go adventuring. Or maybe you just want a battle bar to hang out with your rodent pals. No worries, they can chill together in the tavern. So if you like getting all nerdy with workflow details and stuff, then don't forget to like and subscribe for even more Nerdy Rodent geekery.
Ooh, nerdy rodent. He really makes my day. Showing us AI in a really British way.